They thought they were throwing thorns in your path. Funny how fate turned those thorns into the very roots of your rise. You see, life has a strange way of balancing itself out. Every action creates an echo. Every push has a pull. No one escapes the quiet judgment of the universe, not even those who smile to your face while secretly hoping for your fall. The same hands that tried to break you now tremble at the sound of your name. That's the power of cosmic alignment. That's what happens when someone chosen steps into their timing. There's an energy within you that can't be faked or copied. It unsettles those who live on the surface. Your presence disturbs their comfort, not because you've done anything wrong, but because your growth reminds them of everything they've avoided. You don't just walk through storms, you become the storm. And while they were busy plotting your end, the universe was preparing your beginning. They underestimated you. And now, they watch from a distance, silently haunted by the fact that the very energy they tried to destroy is becoming everything they can't touch. This video is for the ones who felt out of place, too deep, too aware, too ahead of their time. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to shift the entire space you walk into. If you've ever felt the pull of something bigger, if you've ever known you were different without knowing why, stay close. You're about to see why the chaos around you was never meant to break you. It was built to reveal you. Tap the like button, hit subscribe, and let's step into this journey together. Your rise isn't coming, it's already happening. Number 1, stop ignoring why strangers keep approaching you. It's a call, not a coincidence. Not everyone who knocks on your door brings peace. Some carry chaos wrapped in a smile. When you're one of the few who sees beyond the surface, the world treats you differently. People gravitate toward you as if pulled by something they can't name. They sense you're tuned into something real. But with that light comes shadow. And some approach not to learn from you, but to drain you, to study your patterns, or worse, to disrupt your balance. Here's the truth they won't tell you. The chosen ones are always surrounded by admirers, yes, but also by those who come dressed as opportunity and leave behind confusion. People with unclear intentions, masked agendas, and emotional debris come to you like moths to a flame. They aren't always aware of why they're drawn to you, but the deeper part of them knows they're standing in front of something rare, something sharp, and something unshakable. This is where your silent weapon activates, your instinct. A compass no one gave you, but somehow it never fails you. You don't always explain how you know someone isn't right, but you feel it. Their energy flickers, their words fall wrong. The vibe shifts when they enter a room. You catch the tone behind the tone. You hear the silence between their words. You feel the pull to either lean in or step away. That's not paranoia. That's pattern recognition on a cosmic level. Your presence is like a lie detector with a heartbeat. And while others may get fooled, your mind is wired to spot the glitch in the system before it becomes a disaster. That's why some people become uncomfortable around you. They know they can't fake it for long. Ever had a stranger suddenly unload their life story to you in a grocery store aisle? That's not randomness. That's alignment. The universe positioning you as a mirror they didn't expect to find. You say a few words, and it lands like thunder in their chest. You weren't there by accident. But even in those moments, you still know, not everyone is meant to be taken with you on the next step of your journey. Let's be honest, some people only want access to your calm, because they can't control their own chaos. Others see your stillness as a threat because they've never experienced inner peace. And some, they want to dim what they can't duplicate. But you've stopped explaining your vibe to people who were never meant to understand it. You've outgrown the need to be liked by those whose presence only weakens your frequency. You weren't made to entertain confusion. You were made to navigate through it. Keep your radar sharp. Your energy is expensive. Treat it like a currency. Never hand it to someone who doesn't know its worth. Number 2, trust that voice. Inside, your intuition isn't just a feeling. It's a spiritual alarm. There's a voice inside you that doesn't yell, but it never lies. It whispers at just the right moment. It shows up before logic can even blink. That voice? It's not a guess. It's not paranoia. It's a system built into the chosen, a silent alarm that rings when the energy's off, when the path is wrong, or when danger hides behind a friendly face. Others second-guess their instincts. You don't. You can't. You've learned that every time you ignored that gut feeling, the cost was heavy. So now, when the room suddenly feels colder, when the smile feels too forced, when something doesn't sit right, you don't wait for proof. You move. That's what sets you apart. Call it a sixth sense. Call it pattern detection. Call it universal timing. It doesn't matter what label you use. What matters is that it's real. And it's not there to entertain you. It's there to protect you. That flash of unease before a decision, that last-minute push to turn around instead of going in, that quiet knowing someone's not what they seem, that's the system keeping you ahead of the storm. Your intuition sees through masks. It hears what people aren't saying, while others are busy analyzing tone, body language, and intent. You already know. It's like you've read the last page of a book, while everyone else is still stuck on the first chapter. But here's the part they don't tell you. Intuition isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it isolates you. People won't get why you avoid certain situations or distance yourself without a reason. That's okay. Let them be confused. You're not here to explain your radar. You're here to listen to it. The more you trust it, the louder it speaks, the sharper it gets, the more aligned you become. Chosen ones don't just survive the chaos, they move before the chaos hits. So the next time you feel that quiet warning, don't silence it, don't doubt it. That's not fear talking. That's your gift waking up. Trust it. It's been right more times than you'll ever know. Number 3. Don't drown in emotion. Your sensitivity is a weapon, not a weakness. They told you you're too sensitive, too emotional, too deep. But what they don't understand is this. Sensitivity is not your flaw. It's your edge. When you're one of the chosen ones, you don't just feel, you absorb. You walk into a room and feel the tension before a word is spoken. You hear what someone didn't say louder than what they did. While others skim the surface, you sink into the layers no one else notices, and that makes you dangerous in the best way possible. The world has a funny way of trying to shame people like you. It labels your emotional depth as dramatic or overreacting, because your truth exposes what they've buried. But here's what they can't stand. Your emotions are awake, fully. And when you feel something, it's real, raw, and unfiltered. That's power they can't replicate. You're not weak for being moved. You're not soft for caring too much. You are wired to detect shifts, read people, decode energy. That's not emotional overload. That's emotional intelligence on fire. Yes, it's heavy. being tuned in always is. Sometimes you feel things before they happen. Sometimes people dump their pain on you and walk away lighter, while you're left carrying weight that's not yours. But the fact that you can handle that storm and still keep standing, that's not weakness. That's strength wrapped in feeling. You're a radar in a world full of noise. And yes, that means you get overwhelmed sometimes. But it also means you see the truth. And truth, no matter how painful, is power. Let them call it too much. Let them call you overly emotional. Meanwhile, you're out here navigating life with a level of awareness they'll never reach. You're not drowning. You're swimming deeper than they've ever dared to go. So, protect that sensitivity. Guard it like a sword. Because when used right, it doesn't just protect you, it cuts through every mask, every lie, and every false connection in your path. Your emotion is not your enemy. It's your early warning system. It's your hidden weapon. Use it wisely, and never let the numb define your depth. Number 4. When animals and children gravitate toward you, don't brush it off. Your energy speaks louder than words. Hey, don't speak your language, but they understand your energy better than most adults ever will. Animals and children don't fake affection. They don't pretend to like someone to be polite. Their instincts are pure, unfiltered. So when they gravitate toward you with trust in their eyes and calm in their presence, it's not random. It's not cute. It's confirmation. You're carrying something rare, something real, something they recognize without needing it explained. You see, when your energy is aligned, it speaks before you do. It enters the room before your words ever land. And those who are still close to the natural frequency of life children, animals, they feel it like gravity. They are drawn to peace, to safety, to strength that doesn't need to shout. That's why they come to you. Some people spend their whole lives trying to earn trust. You walk into a space and the wildest dog becomes calm. The shyest child feels safe. You didn't ask for that effect. You didn't chase it. You just are it. That's the weight of being chosen. And make no mistake, your enemies feel it too. They won't say it out loud, but they watch how even the most innocent life forms lean into your presence, and it burns them. Because no mask can compete with raw energy. No performance can imitate presence. And no amount of envy can cancel what is natural. Your energy exposes people. It soothes some and unsettles others. That's not your fault, it's your signal. And the more you evolve, the louder that signal gets. This world is full of noise, but you've become a frequency. You don't have to demand attention. You just attract truth. So the next time a child smiles at you for no reason, or a cat that avoids everyone curls up at your feet, know this: the universe is reminding you who you are. You didn't force it. You didn't earn it. You were born with it. That kind of presence can't be taught. It can only be carried. You are not like the rest. You never were. Number 5. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't insomnia. It's a wake-up call from the universe. It's not just restlessness. It's not caffeine. And no, it's not bad dreams. That 3 a.m. moment when your eyes open wide while the world sleeps, that's not an accident. That's alignment. Chosen ones don't wake up with the crowd. They're pulled from sleep while silence rules, not because they're broken, but because something greater is breaking through. You weren't pulled from your rest to scroll. You were called to listen. There's something eerie but powerful about the world between 3 and 4 a.m. Time slows down, thoughts get louder, and the things you've buried, they rise, not to haunt you, but to prepare you. That hour isn't random. It's a checkpoint, a cosmic nudge, a message saying, you're not done yet. When the rest of the world sleeps, distractions fade. No filters, no noise, just you and truth. And truth isn't always gentle, it rips off comfort like a band-aid. But you were made for that kind of honesty. This is where vision lives. It's when your next move whispers in your ear, if you're quiet enough to hear it. It's when your past decisions tap your shoulder, not to guilt you, but to sharpen you. It's when the next version of you starts knocking, and chosen ones don't ignore that knock. The world tells you to get more sleep, but what they don't understand is your soul is wide awake. What they call insomnia, you'll learn to recognize as initiation. Some people wake up to alarms. Chosen ones wake up to alignment. And here's the twist. Those nights they thought were your unraveling, they were actually your rewiring. So next time your eyes snap open before dawn, don't fight it. Don't drown it in distractions. Breathe into it. Sit with it. Write, think, listen. Because the universe doesn't waste time waking up people who aren't meant to shift something bigger. You're not sleepless. You're being summoned. Number 6. Stop trying to fit in. Your difference is the proof you were meant for more. Let's get one thing clear. The very reason they looked at you sideways, whispered behind your back, or tried to leave you out, is the proof you were never meant to blend in. Chosen ones don't fit into pre-made molds. You were designed to break them. You've probably asked yourself, why do I always feel like the odd one out? But here's the twist: you were never meant to belong in spaces built on imitation, conformity, or surface-level thinking. You weren't rejected, you were redirected. Your discomfort in the crowd is your soul telling you, this isn't your tribe, this isn't your path. You're wired differently. And that's not a flaw, that's your confirmation. While others are chasing approval, you're attracting alignment. They want to be accepted. You want to be real. That's the divide. See, the ones who try to blend in fade out. But you stand out without even trying. That silent intensity you carry, that inner world that's 10 layers deeper than what you show, that's not random. It's your edge. People might not understand your silence, your distance, your standards, but they feel your energy, and that energy speaks a language louder than any performance. You were never meant to shrink to fit. You were meant to stretch minds, shift rooms, and shake systems just by being yourself. They told you to tone it down, but every time you did, you felt more disconnected. Why? Because dimming your light doesn't protect your peace, it starves it. Truth is, being different is lonely until it becomes powerful. The same people who questioned you will later quote you. The ones who mocked your uniqueness will wish they had your courage. So no, you don't fit in, and that's exactly the point. You weren't made to follow maps. You were made to draw them. Number 7. Don't fear being alone. Isolation is where the chosen are refined. Alone doesn't mean abandoned. It means selected, pulled away from the noise so you can hear what others can't. If you're someone who often finds themselves in seasons of isolation, not by choice, but by circumstance, understand this. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. The path of the chosen is rarely crowded, because it takes silence to sharpen vision and solitude to build inner power. Growth doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens when no one's watching. Most people fear being alone because they don't know who they are without others around. But you've sat in rooms where the silence was louder than the noise. You've had days where your only company was your own thoughts, and somehow you didn't break. You got sharper, stronger, more aligned. Isolation isn't a void, it's a forge. It's where weak identities dissolve and unshakable purpose is formed. You see, when you're chosen, life doesn't always let you blend in. You start to notice people distancing themselves, friends falling off, connections fading. That's not rejection, that's protection. The universe is clearing the space around you for something bigger than popularity, something with weight, with legacy, with purpose. This loneliness, it's a filter. It removes distractions so you can hear the message meant only for you. It's a secret classroom. And you're learning things most people never will, because they're too afraid to sit in the silence you've already mastered. And here's what they don't expect. When you come back from isolation, you're not the same. You don't beg for space at tables you've outgrown. You don't chase attention. You move with quiet confidence. And that scares people who've only ever moved in herds. You're not meant to be everywhere. You're meant to be exactly where alignment calls you. And if that means walking alone for a while, walk tall, walk aware. Because every step you take in solitude is carving a path others will one day follow. Your isolation wasn't a setback, it was your transformation. Number 8. Your energy attracts everyone. Learn to protect it before it drains you. You walk into a room and the energy shifts. People turn. They feel something before they even know your name. That's not just presence, it's power. But here's the catch. Power like that doesn't go unnoticed or untested. When you carry rare energy, everyone wants a piece of it. Some come to admire, some to imitate, and some, let's be honest, to drain you. They don't always mean harm, but their chaos clings, their problems stick, and suddenly you're carrying weight that was never yours. That's what they don't warn you about. Being chosen isn't just a title, it's a responsibility. You weren't built to blend in. You were built to feel deeper, sense quicker, heal faster. You pick up on tension in a room like it's broadcast in surround sound. You hear what's not said. You feel what others are hiding. You catch the emotion before the smile fades. And because of that, people come to you. They open up, they vent, they lean in. But energy is a currency, and when you keep handing it out without return, you'll feel it. Exhaustion, fog, burnout. You think it's just being tired? No. It's emotional theft, drip by drip. This is where boundaries become armor. Not everyone deserves access to your space. Your energy is not a community pool, it's a protected temple. Let them earn it. Let them rise to your frequency. If they can't, they don't belong in your orbit. Some will call you distant, cold, changed. Let them. The truth is, they were only warm in your light. And now that you've dimmed it for your own healing, they don't recognize you. Good. Because the version of you they knew was busy bleeding energy to keep others warm. That version is gone. This version chooses peace over performance, solitude over noise, depth over drama. Protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. And when you do, watch what happens. The right ones stay, the wrong ones fade, and your power doubles. Number 9. You weren't born to blend in. Start living the purpose you were chosen for. There comes a moment when blending in starts to feel like suffocating. You try to shrink your energy. You lower your voice. You silence your ideas just to make others feel more comfortable. But no matter how much you water yourself down, the truth doesn't disappear. You were never built to blend in. That discomfort you've felt for years, it wasn't anxiety. It was your purpose trying to get your attention. You don't think like the rest. You don't move like the crowd. And that difference? That's not something to be fixed. It's something to be followed. Chosen ones are wired differently. While others chase trends, you question the system. While the masses follow noise, you look for signal. While most fear solitude, you see it as a sanctuary. You were never meant to copy-paste your life to fit someone else's version of normal. That's why when you try to walk like them, talk like them, live like them, something inside you breaks. Here's what they don't want you to realize. The moment you stop trying to fit in is the moment they start fearing you. Because your authenticity exposes their performance. Your clarity reveals their confusion. Your presence shifts the entire temperature of a room, and you don't even need to speak. That's power. That's why they try to box you in, label you, make you question yourself, because once you step into who you really are, they can't predict you, and that makes them uncomfortable. But you weren't made to be understood by everyone. You were made to impact the few who feel what you feel, but haven't yet found the courage to live it. So here's your reminder. Stop begging to be included in places you were meant to outgrow. Stop seeking validation in spaces you were designed to lead. There's no blueprint for your path, because you are the blueprint. Start living like it. Number 10. Not everyone who seeks you out comes with good intentions. Discernment is your shield. Some people don't show up to support you, they show up to study you. When you carry the kind of presence that shifts energy just by existing, you become a magnet. People will be drawn to you. But don't confuse attention with alignment. Not everyone who walks into your life is meant to stay. And not everyone who praises you wants to see you win. Some only come close to copy, to drain, to disrupt, not to build. This is where most people fall, but not you. You weren't built for surface-level perception, you were built with depth. Discernment is your shield. It's that internal alarm no one else hears, that quiet pull in your gut that says, something's off, even when everything looks fine on the surface. You've felt it in conversations that felt just a bit too rehearsed, in smiles that didn't reach the eyes, in friendships that drained you more than they fed you. Chosen ones attract both light and shadow. Your energy doesn't just pull in support, it triggers envy, insecurity, curiosity, and imitation. You become a mirror, and some people can't handle what they see reflected back. They don't want your truth, they want your formula. And that's why discernment matters more than ever, because without it, you'll find yourself surrounded by people clapping for your growth while secretly hoping for your collapse. People who will borrow your fire only to burn you with it. So sharpen your inner radar. Learn to read energy before you trust words. Let people reveal themselves through time and silence. You don't need to call them out, just don't invite them in. Not everyone deserves access to your mind, your vision, or your space. The chosen path is narrow for a reason. Some people were only meant to be part of your story. For a chapter, don't turn them into the whole book. Protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. And remember, the same energy that attracts millions also intimidates the wrong ones. Use that power wisely. Number 11. If a room feels heavy, don't ignore it. Your soul can read what eyes can't see. Ever walked into a room and felt like something was off, but no one else seemed to notice? The air felt thicker, the energy unsettling. You couldn't explain it, but you knew something wasn't right. That's not your imagination. That's your inner radar doing what it was built to do. Pick up on the invisible frequencies others are blind to. When you're chosen, your soul becomes fluent in a language most people will never hear. It reads tone without sound, scans energy without effort. You sense tension hiding behind fake smiles. You feel conflict in rooms full of laughter. You know when someone's presence doesn't match their words, even if they haven't said a single thing yet. This is your gift. It's not paranoia, it's precision. But let's be real. Having this gift means carrying weight others don't. Because while they move through life on the surface, you're submerged in depth. You pick up everything, and it's exhausting, draining, but necessary. Because in a world full of masks, your truth-sensing energy is rare, dangerous, and powerful. The people who underestimate you don't realize you don't need proof to trust your instincts. You don't wait for damage to believe the warning. If the room feels heavy, if the vibe feels off, you walk out no apology, no explanation. That's how chosen ones survive in a world built on illusion. You're not cold, you're aware. You're not antisocial, you're selective with your energy. Because once you've felt what it's like to absorb someone else's chaos, you learn real quickly that not every space deserves access to your presence. Your soul isn't just intuitive, it's protective. It knows what your eyes haven't seen yet. It catches betrayal before it happens. It spots manipulation wrapped in charm. And when it speaks, you listen. Always. This isn't about being suspicious. This is about being awake. So if a room feels off, leave. If a smile feels fake, don't trust it. If your energy dips the moment someone walks in, believe it. That's your gift speaking, not your fear. Trust the signal only you can hear. Number 12. The road you're walking feels lonely for a reason. It was never meant for the crowd. There's a silence that follows you, not because you're lost, but because you're ahead. The road you're on feels lonely, not because it's empty, but because it's too narrow for the crowd. You've looked around and asked, why does it always feel like I'm walking alone? The answer is simple, and it's brutal. Not everyone is built for elevation. People don't get you. They can't understand why you're different. They try to label it as strange, cold, antisocial, or too intense. But here's the truth. They'll never say out loud, your existence challenges their comfort. You remind them of what they've avoided. You make them see what they've buried. Most people aren't scared of darkness. They're scared of the one who walks through it with calm eyes and a steady mind. You've always felt the weight of that distance. Birthdays where the room was full, but your soul was quiet. Friendships that felt temporary. Conversations that felt shallow. That emptiness wasn't loneliness. That was the space being cleared for something greater, something aligned, something real. When you're chosen, isolation becomes part of the journey. It's not punishment, it's preparation. The universe doesn't hand power to people who haven't learned how to carry silence. You're being trained in solitude, being built in silence. So when the moment comes to lead, you don't just show up, you arrive unshaken. Look back for a moment. Every time someone left, something better entered. Every time you were rejected, you were redirected. And every time it got quiet, that's when you leveled up. So don't curse the silence. Don't fear the empty seats. The crowd was never supposed to come with you. This path isn't about being seen. It's about becoming. It's about walking so far within your own truth that even when no one claps, you keep building. Even when no one understands, you keep walking. Because the chosen ones aren't here to follow footsteps. They're here to leave them. To wrap this up, remember this. Your difference is not a flaw, it's your signature. The signs you've felt, the path you've walked, the loneliness, the inner strength, they all point to one truth. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were meant to disrupt, to rise, and to move through this world in a way that leaves a mark. That deep feeling you've had, that you're meant for something bigger, it's not in your head. You're not alone, and your path has meaning. Drop a 999 below if you're ready to step into what you were born for.